And what happened in Coxsackie?
Oh, you know what happened in Coxsackie. That's why you laughing, Pistol. You know what I mean? Yeah, we started a revolution in that motherfucker. You already know, man. You know what I mean?
We closed that shit for a week.
Yeah, you know, man. You know, we bumped into a couple of dudes. You know, and this dude, you know, I'm gonna mention his name because you know this cat for a long time. His name was Brandon. And you know, this cat had a lot of dudes under his wing. He had a lot of soldiers. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of dudes that respected him, that, you know what I'm saying, did moves for him, whatever the case may be. So when I got to the spot, me and his man had went at it. So me and him already had tension, we had drama, and I already knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I already knew his intent towards me. So I said, I figured I'm gonna get this dude before he gets me. The dude is a stepper, he ain't no punk, so I'm gonna make sure I get at this cat immediately. You know what I'm saying? There ain't gonna be no waiting. So as you remember the day I was in the yard, he's playing chess with a Spanish cat. I went up to him, I tried to stab him. And he jetted. When he jetted, my man came behind him and cut him in the forehead. And you ran across the yard and snuffed him. And then you know what I'm saying, he jetted to his corner. The police got him because he was leaking like profusely out his forehead, and they took him out the yard. None of us got caught that day. You remember, the following day, I came out, but I slept. And we had this bitch-ass nigga named Boss, you know what I mean, that came and he was talking to me, and these two dudes came behind me that was rolling with Brandon, and they hit me up bad. You know what I'm saying? They hit me like 4 times with 14-inch ice picks. And niggas fucked me up, you know what I mean? I had a punctured lung, I had a punctured kidney.
I didn't make it to the yard. I was still on my way out the door.
Yeah, I know, because the reason...
Salute. Welcome to the Real Big Fruit Podcast. I'm your host, Big Fruit, Michael Jordan of Record, also known as the Voice of the Streets, but better known as the Glue, because I like to keep things together and keep them in a proper perspective. How y'all doing out there on this Friday night? Happy Friday. As you see, I am not on location at the lab. I am on vacation. But while I'm on vacation, I've been doing my due diligence on the boy Pistol P, and I came across an old 4-year-old video where he's actually interviewing the dude who tried to hit Brizz in Coxsackie. Yeah, man, 4 years ago he interviewed this dude. And when he interviewed the dude, let me first say this. It was a great interview. I think the interview was well spoken. I like how the dude talked about going to jail at such a young age, the trials and tribulation of incarceration. I like how he talked about his biggest fear being losing his mom while he was in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I like how he mentioned how in prison everybody's not built for that. You got to be built for it because a lot of people cut their wrist, cut their throat, hang up, etc. You know what I'm saying? It was a great interview. But what I've had a problem with was when he addressed Coxsackie. Yeah, yo, he talked about Brizz and Coxsackie. He talked about that. But that ain't the only incident he talked about. He talked about his whole journey. But he talked about Brizz and Coxsackie. And what I found strange was his story and Pete's story are nothing alike. Because if you listen to Pete's interview, Pete said, homie came into jail, pulled up on him and let him know, yo, I got beef with this nigga. I want to get busy. And Pete told the nigga, all right, let's get it. And then, etc. Homie let it be known. He rolled up in the spot. He knew Brizz was there. He knew Brizz wasn't playing no games. He wasn't going to play no games with Brizz. He tried to hit Brizz. That's what he said. He tried to hit Brizz. It led to his man scratching Brizz. And he even went to say Pistol Pete snuffed Brizz. And to top it off, the motherfucker said Brizz ran. That's what they said, son. They said Brizz ran. I found that to be totally disrespectful. I found that shit to be totally false. Ain't nobody who know Brizz gonna tell you that they think Brizz got the hauling ass during some conflict. It ain't nowhere in the world they can sell that on nobody, son. But they tried. I watched the interview, man, and let me tell you this, man. Pistol Pete is something else, son. Because his interview, he made it seem like he did all this heroic shit, and then he's sitting there interviewing the guy 4 years ago who actually had the incident with Brizz. And I like how homie admitted, yo, niggas almost bodied him. Yeah, he said them niggas almost killed him, son. He showed his knife wounds and all that shit. But if you ask me, you deserve that. Because if you and Brizz had a problem, or if you was gonna roll on Brizz, why you try to get at Brizz while he was playing chess? you basically tried to sneak him. That's what he said. He basically tried to sneak Brizz. You know what I'm saying? He ain't get his shit off. When Brizz jumped up or whatever, his man scratched Brizz, and then Pistol Pete ran across the yard and snuffed Brizz. That's a whole lot of shit against Brizz, and Brizz didn't do nothing. I don't like that, son. I don't like that. So I'm here to addressing that shit, son. More cap from these niggas, son. More cap. Brizz gave them niggas they props. Brizz let it be known. Niggas get busy. Niggas ain't no suckers. Yeah, they let it be known Brizz a stepper. Brizz ain't no sucker and all that shit. But they also try to shit on him. Now, Brizz ain't shit on nobody. He ain't wrecked nobody. He ain't shit on nobody. None of that shit. He let it be known what it was. But these niggas lie. They gotta say what they gotta say to get clicks and views. I ain't know Pistol Pete did that shit 4 years ago. But he did it 4 years ago. Then he did it this year. He's crazy with it. But you know what? Brizz will be back. Brizz will be back. Brizz will be back. So if you want more Brizz, you got him. You definitely got him. So stay tuned and tapped in to the Real Big Fruit Podcast, because y'all know how I do, son. I'm going to bring y'all Brizz again to address this new shit. To address this new shit, because this nigga Pistol Pete crazy. But it was an old interview. I give it to him. It was an old interview. But as he sat there and interviewed that dude, he ain't have all that smoke, all that fire, talking about what he did. And it leads me to believe he didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Homie said he ran across the yard, he snuffed Brizz. I ain't hear that. Brizz gonna have to confirm that for me. Homie also said, they shut the jail down for 2 weeks. Pistol Pete got crazy busy for him. Like, it was too much, son. But at the end of the day, y'all gotta understand the undertone. The undertone is black and brown, Latin and black. Straight up, that's the undertone. And it's sad that we had to go through that shit in the prison system. It's sad that we had to go through that shit in the prison system. But it's even sadder that some people still have that malice in their heart. Racial tension. And it makes no sense, son. It makes no sense. We ain't out here doing no shit like that. Everybody out here moving, growing, doing positive things. We not focused on racial beefs. We not doing that. But y'all motherfuckers get on YouTube, on these different podcasts, and beat on your chest about racial beefs. Y'all need to check yourselves, because y'all gonna start some shit you can't finish, y'all. Y'all gonna start some shit you can't finish. And on that note, understand Big Fruit will be addressing this shit with Brizz very soon. So once again, Brizz is on his way. Brizz is coming back. He's gonna address this old video by Pistol Pete and the dude he actually got it on with in Coxsackie. Yes, it's going down at the Real Big Fruit Podcast. So y'all stay tapped in and y'all understand only Big Fruit can do the exclusives. Until next time, salute.